What's going on, golf addicts? Welcome to Tour Junkies After Dark, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. I'm DB of the Tour Junkies, and I'm riding solo tonight. My boy Pat is out of town, went to the Braves playoff game, got kicked out of this room he was in the hotel. It looked like it might have been a shady massage parlor. I don't know. But we just recorded our podcast. It's late at night on a Monday. Pat had to get out of there, so it is what it is. You got me. If you think I'm a douche, then you can just fast forward or not watch. But I think you want to stick around for the picks. We hit a winner last week with Sung J M at 33-1. We're here to break down the CJ Cup 2021 from the Summit Club. This is just a tremendous golf event with a lot of big names, but it is a no-cut event. 78 players ish that are going to play this week, with really only about 60 to maybe 65 like having a snowball's chance of winning this golf tournament. The rest of them are here and they're just here to collect the check, okay? But it's the CJ Cup. It's supposed to be in South Korea, but again, for the second year in a row because of COVID, it's here in Las Vegas. So we're in Las Vegas now for the second week in a row, as well as the Shriners just wrapped up last week. But we're at a new golf course. The Summit Club is a Tom Fazio design, and he designed it in 2017 with no intention of hosting a PGA Tour event. It was a resort course near the Vegas Strip. So this course does not have much of a defense to these tour players whatsoever. I mean, maybe the greens, they're bent grass greens. There's a lot of bunkers. Like, maybe that's it. But it's pretty wide open. It's at elevation, thin air. So it's a par 72 that's like 7,400 yards, but it's still not going to play 7,400 yards by all PGA Tour standards. It's still going to play like a shorter par 72 with 4 par 5s that, the bombers can get to all of them pretty easily. And even the shorter hitters are going to have short wedges into maybe the longer 2. There's 3 borderline drivable par 4s that the bombers can probably get to, and the shorter players will have wedges in. So it's like, and it's going to be a birdie fest. I think the winning score is going to get up to 25 under or so. I don't see any wind in the forecast so far. But with no wind and perfect conditions, with wind on a couple of days last week, Sung J M won at 24 under, and that was a much crappier field on a harder golf course. And this is a stronger field on an easier golf course. Like, I just see this thing could be 25, 28 under, could win this golf tournament. 4 days, no cut with this kind of field. It's going to be banana land, birdies and eagles galore. You better have guys that are in form and that can go low. I prefer the bombers over anything here because it's pretty wide open. They can crush it off the tee. They can get to some of these par 4s off the tee. They can get to these par 5s easily. So it's bent grass greens. Look for bombers that putt well on bent grass. Strokes gain approach. Recent form is key. There's really not a lot of course history to speak of, as the CJ Cup has never been played at this event, so I don't think it's really worth looking at CJ Cup stuff. You got 2 names in here that are known members of the Summit Club and local residents. That's Collin Morikawa and Maverick Mcnealy. Now, Morikawa had the course record for a while at a 62 until Maverick Mcnealy just took it with a 61. So both those guys are really the only 2 that may have a decent amount of familiarity with the course, but there's a ton of Vegas guys in the field that have probably played here plenty. So that's kind of the course. There's really no point looking at outright odds history because it's a different golf course. So here we go. Let's get into this. I'm going to talk about names I like. I'm not going to even talk to you about names that Pat likes because I don't care. I'm going to look at the top of the betting board here for DraftKings. Dustin Johnson leads away at 10-1, JT and Xander at 12-1. Collin Morikawa, who I just mentioned, is 16-1, but I'm going to petition something. I'm going to petition you actually stay away from Collin Morikawa. All right? I know that sounds crazy. He's a great player. He's a member here. He had the course record here. But the reason why is he has not been the same player since he played since he won the U.S. Open. And leading up to the U.S. Open, he was positive in strokes gained off the tee and approach in 9 consecutive events. He's not done that in 1 event since he won the U.S. Open. And his finishes are 26th after that. After the U.S. Open victory, finished 26th in a 70-man field event. Missed the cut at the Northern Trust. 63rd at the BMW in a 70-man field event. 26th at the Tour Championship in a 30-man field event. And then he played the Ryder Cup. And we haven't seen him since the Ryder Cup. And the Ryder Cup's a little deceiving. It's a different format. He's playing with a partner. I don't think you can really judge his play off the Ryder Cup. But I think he's a good one to avoid at the top of the betting board. I just don't think you see it coming like we saw it coming at the Open Championship with Colin Morikawa, and 16-1 is way too short. But names I like up here, Victor Hovland at 28-1, I really like. Um, he needs a big breakthrough win on the PGA Tour. He's got a couple of them, but he needs like a big one, and I think he's close. The ball striking is there. He had one of the worst around the green performances he's ever had last week at the Shriners on his way to finishing 44th, but he gained almost 11 strokes ball striking last week. Incredible. Hovland is as good a ball striker as there are. I think there's value there at 28-1. I think it's a good number. Finau interests me at 25-1. I like that number. So those are kind of, but Hovland's the one I feel the best about, kind of in that shorter range in terms of what I call short. That's who I like. And then working down, let's see. You got you got to stay away from Brooks. Something's still not right with Brooks. Harris English at 35-1 is somewhat interesting. Harris English missed the cut last week, but he did something he hasn't done since January 2016. He lost 6 strokes putting last week. 6. That was coming off the Ryder Cup. He did College Game Day. He was probably exhausted. Whatever. Weird fluke week with the putter and lost 6 strokes, and hasn't done that since January of 2017. Does Harris English have the putting yips? No. He just had an off week, but the ball striking was still there, and he's one of the best putters on tour regularly. So 35-1, I think, is an interesting number. I think Harris feels pretty unstoppable at the moment. I mean, he's riding a 2-win season last year, a Ryder Cup selection where he played well. I think he's pretty unstoppable and feeling pretty confident. All right. Working down the board, I got a number of names here in the 60-80-1 range. Aaron Wise at 60-1, I absolutely love. Wise has had a great end of the season. He's a PGA Tour winner a couple years ago. He's been in contention. He's had a chance. He's had like one round or even a 9, like a half a round that's kept him from being, really at the top. But he hits the ball a long way. He can make a bunch of birdies. I think for outright bets to win, when you're coming into an event where I think 25 under could be the winning score, I think you need to come in already in the birdie-making mode, like in the birdie-making, eagle-making mode, which is what Aaron Wise has done. 26th at the Sanderson, 8th at the Shriners to start the new PGA Tour season. I love that for him. I think that's an interesting number there at 60-1. At 65-1, there's a couple names, Taylor Gooch and Siwo Kim, both showing form currently. Siwo missed the cut last week at the Shriners, but before that, 11th and 8th to start off the PGA Tour season. His best putting surface is this week on bent grass. He's an aggressive player. He makes birdies in bunches when he's on. He hits it plenty long off the tee. I think Siwo is definitely in play as a multiple PGA Tour winner. And Taylor Gooch is looking for that first PGA Tour win. I don't know if an outright number is best for him, but he is 5-1 as a top 20. So we'll see. He's playing really, really well. I mean, very well. And he checks a lot of boxes from the stat, categories that are important. But started off the PGA Tour season with a 4th place finish at the Fortinet and an 11th place finish at the Shriner. So almost 2 top 10s to start the year for him, and he's currently 5-1 to top 10 on DraftKings Sportsbook. I think that is a number you should scoop up. Now, an outright name that I think can win is Maverick Mcnealy, and I think he could win this event as his first PGA Tour victory. Now, it's a big boy field, but Mav has runner-ups. He has close. He was runner-up 2 weeks ago at the Fortinet. He was runner-up at the Pebble Beach Pro-Am earlier in the spring. He's been in contention, and I like that for a young guy, like where they've been close, like in the final group or the second to last group on a Sunday in the hunt, and something happens in the last few holes and they lose it. I like that for a young guy trying to get the first win. I like that experience. I like that he's felt that a little bit. That's something Taylor Gooch hasn't quite felt. He's been close, but he hasn't quite been in like the last group, the second to last group on a Sunday. Maverick Mcnealy has, and now he's at a course that he holds the course record of and he's a member of. There's probably no other place on the schedule that he looked at this year and said, I think I can get my first win there than here at the Summit Club. So Mav at 80-1 or 6-1 top 20, I think is worth a look. All right. Now I'm going to get into a few bombs for you before I let you go, and then we will get out of here. Be sure and click the thumbs up button. Give it a like. Give it a subscribe to the DraftKings YouTube channel if you've not already. And, I was thinking this, since we're in Vegas for the second week in a row, maybe leave a comment, your favorite casino game. You walk into a casino, where are you going? You go on the roulette table, blackjack, poker? You pulling slot handles all night with old ladies smoking cigs and sipping apple martinis? What's your go-to? Put that in the comments here on YouTube. All right. The long shots for me are going to be Cam Davis at 130-1 and Keegan Bradley at 130-1. Both plenty long off the tee. Both can get it done off the tee. Not worried about distance here. I like distance, and both of them have it. All right. Both can hit. Keegan Bradley's iron play lately has been tremendous. He's top 15 in this field in iron play. He just can't putt. That's always the thing with Keegan Bradley. He can't putt. But his best surface by far is bent grass. But I mean, look at his 2021 year. I mean, there's a couple top 10s. There's a runner-up at the Valspar, 17th at the PGA. That's a tough course there, tough field. 14th at the Rocket Mortgage, 11th at the Northern Trust. That was a field very similar to this. Maybe, I just think Keegan looking for that elusive PGA, that next elusive PGA Tour victory at 130-1 in a field where really only 60 guys have a snowball's chance of winning this thing, is a decent number. Now Cam Davis comes in. Now I famously had him in my betting card when he won at 150-1 back in July at the Rocket Mortgage, and he hasn't done much since. He's made cuts, but nothing really to write home about. He finished 27th last week at the Shriners, but he gained 2.5 strokes off the tee, 3.4 strokes on approach. He putted terribly, and that was pretty much it. That was it. But now he comes to the only surface where he actually gains strokes, and that's bent grass. And he gains almost a little over a third of a stroke per round on bent grass greens for his PGA Tour career, which is good news for him. And he's so long and he's so aggressive. I like that for him in a tournament like this where you got to go low with 4 par 5s and 3 gettable, potentially par 4s. So Cam Davis at 130-1 as well. I like that. Cam and Keegan are both 9-1 to finish top 10. I think you look at top 10s this week, being a shorter field, the top 10 numbers are equivalent to top 20 numbers in a full field event. So Keegan and Davis 9-1 top 10s, I think is worth a look. So there you go. That's the CJ Cup. I'm looking at long shots and bombs, and I'm not here to tell you to bet, Xander. Because I mean, hell, everybody knows to bet Xander. He's 12-1. He's a stud, whatever. But I don't bet favorites in golf. So that's not what you're going to get watching TJ After Dark. I tell you that. Thanks for watching. Be sure and subscribe to the DraftKings YouTube channel, like I mentioned before. Pat will be back next week. We'll be back next week all season for the PGA Tour, even though it's the NFL and all you guys care about is football. But there you go. Thumbs up, subscribe, comment. Have a great week. May your screens be green on DraftKings. See ya.